LeBron James should be getting ready for the NBA Finals, which begins tonight, yet he had to deal with the issue of racism after someone spray painted the N-word on the gates of his California home. Police are investigating the act as vandalism and a possible hate crime after someone put the word nigger on the gate of James' home in Los Angeles. Now, he wasn't home at the time, but the property manager thinks the incident was captured on surveillance video. James talked about it before practice in Oakland.
Racism will always be a part of the world, a part of America. And, hate, in America, especially for African American, is living every day.
And James says celebrities, of course, are not immune from this issue.
No matter how much money you have, no matter how famous you are, no matter how many people admire you, being black in America it's tough.
James says it's difficult not to be with his children to explain why such a thing happened and what they should learn from it.
I can't be home to see my boys right now. My little girl's too young to actually understand it right now, but I can't sit in front of my boys right now, and I won't be home until next week. So this is kind of killing me inside right now.
Baltimore Orioles center fielder Adam Jones sent a tweet supporting James, just discussing what happened to King James' house, just discussing stay up OG. Jones, of course, had to deal with racial taunts when he played in Boston, when someone also threw a bag of peanuts at him and called him the N-word. And several years ago in San Francisco, someone threw a banana at him. Congressman John Lewis expressed his concern regarding this incident.
But I'm stressed and sorry to hear that such thing is still happening today. It means that we still have a great distance to go before we lay down the burden of racism and bigotry.
All right, folks, joining us right now is Kevin Blackistone, writer with ESPN. Kevin, here's the thing that I think people is interesting about this particular topic here. And that I love these people who say, oh, no, we don't want to deal with these social issues in sports. We don't want to hear from Colin Kaepernick, him kneeling down. You have the owner of the New York Giants who said that he got tons of letters from Giants fans saying they were going to boycott the Giants if they dared sign Colin Kaepernick. They didn't say a damn thing, though, when the kicker was beating the hell out of his wife, and the team knew about it, but they didn't say anything about that.
The arena of sports is somewhat disingenuous when it comes to these types of issues. We have this notion or this fantasy that sports are somehow a sanctuary from all the ills of society, and we rightly know that the truth is that they are a reflection of these things. And so what you saw happen to Colin Kaepernick and what you've seen happen in sports recently with Adam Jones, or even you can go overseas and you can see where the Ghanaian player was run off the pitch in a soccer match in Italy due to racist chants. These things have been going on for a very long time. It's a reminder that sports is not a sanctuary from any of these types of things, but really a reflection of what's going on. And a lot of people say that that this is a reminder that of the Trump America that we're living in now, but it's also a reminder of the Obama America that we were living in for 8 years, where there was a lot of this was reflected through anger and not just emboldenment, which is what we see now.
There's also a reminder to other athletes that they can't just sit there and not say a damn thing when these things happen, and just say, hey, I only want to discuss the game.
Right, and one of the things that came up with the Adam Jones thing that stunned me a little bit was the fact that, and I wrote about this in my column with the Washington Post, was that a number of other players came out and said that they had suffered the same racist slings and arrows when playing in Boston, but nobody said anything.
Yeah.
When you see racism, say something about it. Point it out. My goodness, how brave were those two souls in Portland, Oregon, who stood up for those women who were being verbally assaulted by a white supremacist simply because of their religion.
And then, of course, Kevin, we also saw when the WNBA players wanted to wear those Black Lives Matter shirts, and
Exactly.
no. But, of course, they had no problem. The league had no issues when they cut a deal with LGBT organizations to wear the rainbow shirts, and then black people say, well, hold up now. And y'all cut a deal with them, but all of a sudden we want to wear these shirts. And in fact, what happened was they got so much pushback, they had to change that policy because the fans rained holy hell down on the WNBA.
You're right. And let's not forget with the LeBron James incident, which really in the scope of things that we've seen happen in the last couple of weeks with the murder of Richard Collins III here on the campus of the University of Maryland, is really very small. But let's not forget that LeBron James over the past couple of years, you mentioned the T-shirts, in the wake of the Trayvon Martin murder, really began to speak out and become a symbol for the resistance to racism in this country. And it would not at all surprise me to find out that the perpetrators of this incident had that in mind. Well,
and I think, and again, I could tell you what happened with that. There were folks like me and others who were really pushing Dwayne Wade and LeBron James to say something. Of course, Trayvon Martin was killed in Sanford, and he was actually going home to watch the NBA All-Star game that was taking place that year in Orlando. And I don't recall any of those Orlando Magic players saying anything. And again, we were pushing them, saying, "Look, you guys are." The kid was also from Miami. Y'all better say something. And that's when they, of course, took the photo with all of them wearing the hoodies.
Right, and that was a great symbolic move, and I think it started a discussion in this country that needs to be had, not just among athletes when that happens in their community, but among all of us. I would not ask anyone to do something that I would not do myself. But we all need to be active and vigilant if we're in fact going to live in a democracy which creates safety and respect for all of us.
All right, Kevin Blackistone, man, we appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Absolutely, man.
All right, quickly want to go to our panel here. Look, sports, athletes, they have major platforms. My deal is don't ignore it, use it.
Michael Jordan, if you think back a bit back when Harvey Gantt ran for the United States Senate in North Carolina, and people urged Michael Jordan to speak up for Harvey Gantt, who was an African-American man who had been the mayor of Charlotte, and he refused to do it. He said, Republicans watch basketball too.
He said they buy shoes too.
Okay, something. He connected the commercialism. But in any case, these athletes underestimate their power when they say that they're not going to speak up. Boston has been notorious. I mean, we heard about the Jones case, but it's happened always. Black people, we used to not go to, I went to school in Boston. We wouldn't go to Celtics games because just if you were black and you were, cheering for the Knicks, they would pour soda and stuff on you and do stuff like that. They wouldn't do it to the white people cheering for the Knicks. But we know that this racism exists. The question is why these folks feel there's some implicit penalty. You don't have to be Colin Kaepernick. Right. You don't have to kneel down, but you should say something.
But some of that, I think, is still the result of the ongoing lack of discussion about the state that black people are in terms of being at risk for white supremacy, racism. There is no ongoing discussion. Roland mentioned earlier about the LGBT community putting pressure on the sports system and them getting what they want. Well, they're laying in wait to ensure that they're respected. We're not laying in wait. We have to second guess, well, should I do this or not? White people are still going to like me? Am I still going to get paid? And we're going through all this dancing instead of saying, look, I deserve to be respected. My people should be defended. We should not go through this. We're not taking it no more. Instead of being men, even though they're playing with balls, they're still questioning whether they're going to step up or not. The LGBT community don't question nothing. They say, we ain't having it.
And I think I agree with everyone, but I think we also have to know that we all have a voice. And we've got to teach our kids to exercise that voice at a young age so when they become professional basketball players and senators and members of Congress.
But their voice to say what? What are we going to tell them to say?
We're going to tell them to stand up.
To what?
To what?
And say what?
We're going to tell them not to accept it.
Not to accept what? We keep calling it it. What is the it? What are we going to teach the child?
It's disrespect. So just like we teach our kids not to let
That's
somebody
a generic
hit them.
word. It's
But
not
beyond
just
disrespect,
generically
it's racism
disrespect.
also.
Let's see.
I mean, it's racism, and that's a word we have to use.
We
and
just
that's a word we're
demonstrated the
afraid to
fear
use.
of calling it what it is. And if we speak to our children in ways that keep it ambiguous, they're going to stay ambiguous and keep being set up to be sitting ducks. Like these young boys who just got killed this month, those 15-year-old boys that got pressed, they probably died going, what's going on? Because they weren't prepared and educated about the fact that white supremacy is an issue. The system is out of balance. Black people are under attack. I mean, we got LeBron James saying something that's 20 years old. This is not new information. But we still are ambivalent about being clear with our kids about the issue of white supremacy, and we have to defend ourselves.
Absolutely.
A peaceful protest turned deadly. 37-year-old black man was shot and killed by Baton Rouge police. His hands are in the air, and you still get shot by the cops.
Oh my God, please don't tell me he's dead.
We're not gonna let hate define us.
Race is a big part of this.
If truly all lives matter, then all lives need to matter equally.
What we require is action. What we require is accountability. We understand that black lives do matter, and we will keep focused on this issue.
NewsOne Now, every weekday morning at 7 on TV1.